Yo, what is good, my dudes? This is Lyle Tough AF with the sponsors of this channel being Little Fat Tony Gaming and Sultan Friends. This is going to be a Six Samurai deck profile, just so that you guys can see this version of the deck, and also I can explain a few things here and there. Let's get into it. So we've got 3 Tactical Trainer. The card is amazing. What this card is able to do, it's basically a Keyzon. It allows you to go ahead and just to special summon if you control a different Six Samurai with a different name on the board. It's a nice little 2 Earth Tuner. It's also an aestheticism target for Chamberlain of the Six Samurai. And that card allows you to reduce your opponent's attack with the 6-amp Synchro monster by 500, so they can't get over other cards on your field. But the MVP is 3 Monk. Monk is probably the best card because it reduces all your opponent's levels by 1. So in certain matchups, this is just insane, especially against Tenpai, like being able to have their levels reduced so then they can't just go Unga Bunga OTK. And then other strategies, like say Ryzel or anything that's coming up, having their levels modulated is going to be very impactful. And this is also an assassin target, and here's its target, which is the Great Spirit. Spirit of the Six Samurai is a nice little union monster. So a cool little interaction with this card is that, yes, it does give your monster that's equipped with 500 plus attack. It also, when it destroys the monster and sends it to the graveyard, you get to draw a card. Another sick interaction is, say if one of your Six Samurai monsters would be destroyed, and this is equipped to it. Like, let's just say you have a Xian on board and another Xian, and then this is equipped to one of the Xians. Since that one Xian would be destroyed, you can just instead decide to destroy the other Xian. But since the Union's equipped to it, the Union will fall off, and your Xian's still alive, which is amazing. Then you've got one Keyzon. He's pretty cool. He's able to go ahead and special summon himself out, and he can do some synchro plays, but he's just another body to be able to help make into, say, your F8 on Dragster, or being able to go into your Barkion. And then there's this cool guy, Great Shogun Xian. This card is brutal against opponents. Say they try to bait out, like, say, like they activate a Regeki and you negate it with a Naturia Beast. They cannot chain Droplet to this. And if they do Droplet and they don't hit this guy, you're cooking. And he's searchable off of the new Xian monster, which is insane. Then we've got the 2 aestheticism targets for the Chamberlain. Or not the 2 aestheticism. I'm broken. These are for your trainer and vice versa. This is fantastic. And then the last of like your monsters is Toon Warrior. Sadly, he's like the only like brick if you open it, just because like he doesn't interact with anything else. The only thing that he is an Earth Warrior Tuner. That is the only benefit to him, and he's the only Earth or Warrior Tuner in all of Yu-Gi-Mans. So for the normal monsters, which is highly upsetting. But these cards will make more sense once I show the rest of the engine. Now into Hand Trap Land. You've got 2 Ghost Mourner, 2 Joel Lockbird, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Effect Veiler, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. This deck can just pop off with 2 cards. Like, it really doesn't matter what the 2 cards are to a degree, but there are some instances where you have a mediocre hand, but with the amount of hand traps, you should be able to stop your opponent or stall them. But yeah, that's the hand trap lineup. Then we go into 1, 2, 3, 4 Smoke Signals. Like, that'll grab you any 6-Sam for the most part. This is the card cannot grab you Keyzon. But 9 times out of 10, you're not really going for the Keyzon unless you have certain lines in play. Then the cards that your tuner monsters that are brand new to the deck can grab. The trainer can grab you the 6-strike cards, which are these two really good cards. Double Assault is amazing. Also, Monk can grab this because it is a quick play 6 Sam spell card. The benefit to this card is that it's an offensive and defensive card, and it's not just dead after you use it. So you can target them. Like, it doesn't even target. That's the best part of the first part of the effects. Like, it just summons one with 2,000 or less attack, and then Book of Moon's a card on your opponent's side of the field, which can be so impactful. I wish the secondary effect when you banish it wasn't targeting, but you can't win them all. But yeah, Monk or Trainer can grab this. Trainer can only grab these ones. 2 right now I think is fine. 3 they're just a little cloggy in my opinion. Like they can help, but there becomes a point in time where it's not good. And then Aestheticism is fantastic. Just playing it as a one-of, like, once you get your combo and your board built up, you won't really need this card afterwards. Another card I'm trying out is Cunning of the Six Samurai. I just put this in. It's a card I was looking for and finally got one. This card is amazing. So as long as you have another target, you can go ahead and negate with Xian, do this, bring it back out, and then it can use it to negate again, which is amazing. But yeah, that's all for the 6 Sam bits. Then we got into our really cool engine, Primite Lordly Load. Now, this card is amazing because on activation, it allows you to grab a Primite card from your deck to your hand. So, they can't Ogre it. They can Ash it, which is fine. It's literally done nothing. And depending on how your hand is, you can also use the other effect to go ahead and summon a normal monster by calling out its name. You just can't activate special summon monsters on the field effects. So your monsters can still special summon from the hand. They can still, when they go to the graveyard, be able to get those cool effects. And because the one effect of the Xian, like when the little monsters get sunk with it, they don't, it's not an activated effect, it's just a continuous. So I think it's fantastic at 3. Then I play 2 Primite Roar, because this card is busted. You have to pay 2,000 life points. That is the only downside of that, but the benefit of it is with getting out the Chamberlain, being able to special summon all your guys out, and depending on how your hand is, you can also use this to be able to special summon out the Toon Warrior, because 1,600 attack, because you can banish this card from your graveyard to go ahead and banish the normal summon. I know we're in a lot of special summons, but against certain decks or certain scenarios, this comes up greatly. Just being able to go goodbye to your monster, especially in certain game states. Then we have 2 Unexpected Die. I think this card is amazing. Being able to have this plus Primite Roar, and also Primite Roar is not a once per turn. So you can shotgun both of those if you need to, or if you have Unexpected Die, and then you can go ahead and trigger off both of these if you do open them. This just being able to get you monsters on board, it can run a hand trap and you can go from that point. And then the last card is just Called by the Grave. Just it's a good card, gets rid of hand traps or other problematic things. Now into the extra deck. We have our dad, Richard. He's the best. Then for our Synchro 5s, you've got 1 Xian, 2 Xians, and a Beast. I'm still seeing on how I like the 2 Xians. Having more 5 options, especially being able to make sure that your trainer's online with its effect, is nice, because at that moment, depending on how you make the trainer to get into this, it drops everything by 500. So at that moment, they'll be equal with your Xian or weaker. And I love being able to make Xian, and then a Beast, because then at that point, you have your trap negation, you have your Beast, and then you have your monster effect negation. So at that moment, you're able to have everything dropped by 5 and their levels modulated, so then your Beast 9 times out of 10 will be safe. Then for the your 6s, you've got Xian, and this is going to be Xian. I'm not a fan of Typhon. I took that card out. It just is not doing enough. I think having 3 of these is fantastic just because on Summon, it allows you to grab a 6-amp or Xian effect monster from graveyard or your deck, which is insane. So you can help recycle cards or be able to go for that push. And I think that's amazing. Then you have Anishi, which going second with this card is amazing. Just being able to bounce everything, and then if you banished one of these from your graveyard and he gets sent to the graveyard, it doesn't specify on how he's sent to the graveyard as long as he's sent to graveyard land. You can special summon one of these little dudes up for freezies. Then you have your Barkion. Like, being able to end on Beast Barkion is pretty good. The only cards that do stop this is Dark Ruler No More and Droplet. So it's interesting trying to figure out all of that jazz. And then our 7 is F.A. Don Dragster. It's very niche in certain scenarios, but it does come up. It is a fantastic card. It's not a once per turn, and you can do it. It's really nice. It's like a Apollo for spells and traps. Then you've got your Link Spider, the only Link one. This card is fantastic. It allows you to go into like being able to build your board even further in case you do open certain cards. Like say you open like Toon Warrior and Chamberlain, or you open with the Primite as well. Then you have the cards in graveyard and you've already started to build your board. So then you can go into like say IP, SP, or even Dark. Like these are the Link 2s. I think these ones are needed. Like there's a lot of Dark monsters running about, and you have key cards like Monk that you can go ahead and go into. I've seen some builds play Asa, but I'm not the biggest fan of Asa, just because there's not a lot of cards I can go ahead and utilize from my opponent's graveyard. Then the last ones are Underworld Goddess, just because being able to clear your like an untargetable monster, because your monsters are pretty weak, and then you have Access Code Talker to take away the game. Now into the sideboard. Pretty standard, just 3 Cosmic. Back row's real. Goes in Revelry, Floodgates in general, just being able to respect those. Then Dank Ruler No More. Just being able to turn off my opponent's monster effects, just so then I can go ahead and combo off and go from that point. And then the best 6 Samurai card in the entire deck is Evenly Matched. Like, boom, being able to blow out my opponent by banishing everything, and then being able to set up a multi-negate board to hinder their plays. Then the man himself, Judgment, being able to stop my opponent from doing all the cool things. And then D-Barrier. This card can hurt you, especially if you can't set up if you're going second, but you have your Link plays that you can go ahead and go into. I will be taking a look at that further just to see on what else you can do, but if you do have that happen to you, you should still be able to end on an IP along with an additional monster, and along with having a the 6 strike. So you only have 2 interactions there for that, which technically 2 with the SP Little Knight, but if they do flip that on you, that's where sad times in the kingdom happen. But let me know what you think, anything you would change, anything you would add. Be sure to check out the links in the description and let me know what you guys think. All right, peace.